Things we want to talk about today, but we're going to remind you about Grief Share so you can make sure that those who are involved, need to be involved, can get involved.
Yes, and we have it at our church, One Church Covenant Fellowship, every Wednesday from 10 to 11:30, 918 Person Street. Love to have you. You can call the church if you have questions, 910-323-8889, and they will respond to you. Already in a session, but you can always drop in, drop out, drop back in, whatever you need to do. They're always there to share with you.
And now we have it on Saturday, online on Saturday, Zoom. Mm-hmm. So get in line there, get up there and get online and just look at www.griefshare.org and ask for local area, and then they'll share with you what's available. Lots of people are sharing now in those areas, but we feel like we got a really good team working with you on those areas. 3 topics today. We're going to be talking about the abduction of Nancy Guthrie, and as we are praying for that family, and of course how these things come about and what we have to be aware of. Also, smart money. If you're planning to buy a home, is it a good idea to do a 30-year mortgage, or should you consider something else? And finally, we're going to talk about how we share our heritage with our children and grandchildren and so on, if we are, okay? Plus, health tip and a did you know moment. We got to share those with you because I believe that just makes the day. Appreciate you. Shout out to all of those who follow us as we are talking about some of the things that will make a difference in your life. All right? So let's look at this team, the abduction of Nancy Guthrie. Some of the things that we know, I've been trying to pull up to the very last minute. At this last moment, there's still no suspects, no reward, and there's still some names out there. But the point is, it's a hard situation to pull up when you're looking at someone's 84-year-old mother who has needs, physical needs as well, and the way it looked like it may have happened. It's just something that really breaks your heart and makes you think about, man, you would think at this place, a place in the area that they were in, a place that should have been safe, just at Tucson, Arizona, a basically good community where you don't have this kind of things happening. It happens. It happens. So we want to consider and keep in mind, okay, what is this dealing with, and how can we as friends and family members make sure that we are safe as we go forward, okay?
You have to be vigilant and be situationally aware. We live in an age now where you should always let someone know your whereabouts. If you're leaving home just to go shopping, for a little while, so let somebody know I'm going such and such a place, and I'll be back in a specified amount of time. That gives people an idea of where you're at. So if something out of the ordinary occurs, they will be able to track, where you've been and hopefully find you well.
One of the things I noticed was about the security system. Maybe it was obsolete, I'm not sure, but several things that were put in mind that it was not. Actually, it was recording over itself. So by the time they found out something, maybe information that could have been reliable was gone.
Yeah.
Making sure that you update it. If you have a system, make sure you got a better one that can help you.
Yeah. From what I understand, according to one report, is that she unfortunately didn't have a subscription. So as you said, it was looping. So what should have been saved was not saved, and it appears that someone disabled that camera.
Yeah. And it's so sad because a lady in that age, and then of course her daughter being a news reporter, she's just felt like she needed to step down and try to put more emphasis and help find her mama. So I'm sure it's really affecting the family a lot. My granddaughter tracks me on her phone. And I don't fuss about it, but it's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing.
Went to our store, she said, Papa, what you doing over there? I said, how you doing there? You know, I got to track you. So that gives us something to do. But, I think, like you said, Brother Tony, we need to put those things in. And that's not extra cost. You can do that with your cell phone.
No.
Part of just the app you download.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as you say, now we use a lot of text messaging, but simply just to hear somebody else's voice, call someone, say, how you doing today? Just checking on you, seeing how you're doing. That means a lot to the person. They hear another voice. If there's anyone else around, they know, oh, somebody is keeping up with this person.
The seclusion of where she lived was what got my attention. I mean, almost cactuses around there, and it's almost like you were in a kind of a desert area.
Yeah.
Well, there's no other word for it than it's what you want. You want to have a place of your own. You want to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you want to have in this nice looking home and all.
Yeah. But we understand. Yeah, this was a very, very well-to-do community. Mm-hmm. I'm sure this police department, the sheriff's department, it's unusual crime for a place, so that causes difficulty in the investigation. After listening to some commentary at some other places, I'm starting to develop a couple of theories, which I'm probably going to keep to myself, because
same thing. Yeah,
this just doesn't seem like an ordinary kidnapping. People who kidnap usually do it for monetary gain.
Well, there's a note that was demanding millions of dollars, but they wanted in bitcoins as well, so it's like hard to trace.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what was the final. There was one phase of that that's already passed, so I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, I think that individual actually was questioned and arrested.
Okay.
Because producing a fake kidnapping note. But as you say, it's a horrible thing for an 84-year-old woman who has significant medical issues to be without medication and without supervision. And then naturally, her family is very concerned about her whereabouts because they love their mother.
But high-profile people, as we noticed, and we remember what happened in Minnesota, where there was people who were senators, a congresswoman and a husband, they were attacked, and it's political, and that's the kind of things you have to keep in mind, and of course pray for, that if we can get back to a place where, if we could ever get to a place, first and foremost, that we understand it's not that serious that you need to harm someone or even do anything that would cause another person to feel that because I'm sharing my opinion, that you get so emotionally out of whack that we get to the point that this is happening to us. So that is a piece. This may not have anything to do with that, but it just brings back to mind so many places where people are supposed to have First Amendment rights to share, and then now it's not just a person, it becomes something that's attacking the family as well.
Yeah, and it also brings up the point that we need to be more concerned about our mature citizens, our senior citizens. Sometimes we put them on the back burner because we feel, okay, they've lived their life and they may be sitting back in retirement and enjoying themselves, but they need attention and they need care.
Yeah. You know, a bishop said this, that other countries treat their senior citizens better than America.
Absolutely.
And that's sad, and, because all the technology and things that we have that we really could take care of senior citizens, we kind of,
That should be one of the shows that we talk about eventually, that when you're getting so busy, life can get so busy. These things should be conveniences to reduce the amount of time that we spend away from our families. But instead, they got it so spread out that we're doing everything, and now we're not even to even talk to the family. I mean, folk are texting, sitting at the same table in a restaurant, texting somebody else, and they can't talk to each other. Or there's no the humanity piece, the touch, the connecting is not there. So this probably has nothing to do with her. I can see that course, Nancy loves her children, and like anybody else, you want the best for your family, and we want her safe as well. So last I heard, there was a $50,000 reward offered for any information leading to the recovery. And those of you who are our prayer, who can pray, please keep that family in your prayers. Okay? As we move on, we're going to try to do something here, another piece here, as we talk about mortgages. I want to move into that, talk about those things I was looking at. We were able to get to the point where we could reduce hours, but I'll talk about that later. But the pros and cons of a 30-year mortgage. And some people may be looking at, I'm about to purchase a home, or at that point of. So let's look at that. What are some of the benefits and some of the challenges that you might need to consider if you're going to do a 30-year mortgage loan?
Yeah. Well, for one, from my research, it creates cash flow, a 30-year mortgage. You're probably going to get, because of the extended period of time, you're going to actually pay more on the end of the loan and interest, but it offers more flexibility in your monthly payments and in the possible interest rates that you can get.
Okay, so it's predictable payments.
Predictable,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
And basically, it depends on what kind of money you have.
Okay.
If you got a lot of money, then you probably want to go 15 because you're going to pay less interest in 15 years. But if your money, you need to stretch your money, you might want to go 30. But you can always make extra payments, and I think that's the key to that one. So you won't be there 30 years.
Yeah.
But the first years, they said all that money goes to interest almost.
Yeah. And then after that 10-year period, anything that you put towards the principal goes directly to the principal down payment, so that lessens the amount of interest you're going to pay on the end. So if you can make extra payments, that would be awesome. The thing is that housing is at such a premium, and the cost has gone up. You're talking about homes, just a modest-sized home is in the $200,000s of dollars, and anything above that $400,000, and they're talking about 20% down. Most people are not going to have 20% down on a $400,000 home.
So the qualification for a 15 to 20-year loan is probably going to be a little bit different from one for a 30-year mortgage, to make sure that you've got that kind of money. But like you're saying, the lower payments allows you to borrow and qualify. I remember that when we got our loan personally, my wife and I, with the home we have now, we started off with 30-year, but we started paying more on it. When the interest rate dropped, I think it was 1 point something, enough for us to say we got it refinanced. And dropped it to a 15-year, and we paid it off that way.
Yeah,
we got a chance to knock off about 9-10 years,
and that makes a lot of sense, because it gives you, by the time, like you say, you've built up some equity in the home, and it gives you negotiating power with the lending institution.
Sure, yeah. Because you can't do that. You can't get a 30-year loan and then change it in a matter of a couple of years. It's going to take a minute to get that done.
Yeah, and of course, Dave Ramsey, one of the big experts in money, he recommends the 15-year mortgage that you get that versus a 30-year.
Well, I can tell you the payments did go up, but we just settled in and decided there's some things we're just not going to do, because making sure we can live in this house and feel comfortable was the most important thing for us. And yeah, there is a higher interest when you do a 30-year, and of course all that comes into play when you decide that we're going to buy a home. And some people find that renting is better for them. Totally. There's some people who never own a home because they find it works better for them that way. Yeah. So anyway, we love to hear from you. If you want to tell us your experience with your 15-year mortgage, 30-year mortgage, or whatever it was, so we can talk about it as well. 910-483-6111 is the number for you to call. We'll talk with you if you can tell us what's happening with you, how well it worked, or some challenges.
Yeah.
Now, I do remember something, guys. When we first got the loan, there was a insurance put on the loan, and it was some percentage. I can't remember what it was. It's like a principal interest something that stays on there, but you have to call after 1 year and have that removed. Otherwise, they'll keep charging you for that insurance in case the loan fails or something. I wish I knew the term, and maybe I'll look it up when we get a break.
I can't think of the term, but that's designed to protect the lending institution and
Correct.
not really protect the buyer.
Yeah.
They convince you that it's going to
Yeah.
that it's going to help you, but in the long run, it's really to protect the lending institution.
I never forget, boy. I marked that day on my calendar, the exact day when the 365 days were up. I called, said that I could drop it, and it dropped the payment a little bit, but still, every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Another thing is like anything, for a big purchase like that, we really should shop around, because there are experts out there who do this kind of stuff every day, and they can give you some really good ideas as to how to go about financing a home if you're interested in purchasing, and which would be to your advantage: 15-year, 5-year, or 30-year mortgage, depending on your circumstances.
Yeah, we start off ours with rent to own, and trying to get our credit to the point where we're comfortable enough to get a home of that magnitude. So there are options out there, and I would like to, Captain says, search the market, make sure that you got the best possible company that can lead you in those directions. 'Cause it's out there.
Yeah, you get so excited. I know I was so excited about the idea of being able to purchase a home. I had actually gotten pre-qualified.
Okay.
And so it was just a matter of going out and shopping for something in my price range. But if I had slowed down and really got good financial advice, I probably could have done a lot better in the purchase of my home. I was fortunate that I had VA benefits, so a portion of my mortgage was guaranteed by the Veterans Administration, so I didn't have to make a down payment.
Gotcha. Those are good things that we can be aware of. Veterans, people who have first-time buyers. There are all kinds of ways that you can get safe loans.
There's a lot of programs out there like that.
It's not well known that the federal government still grants money to first-time home buyers, people who've never purchased a home. There's grant money available for you to purchase, and lots of it you don't have to pay back. It's given to you up front.
When the boss says it's time to take a break, and
And it's time to take a break.
It's not our wives, it's the real boss. Guys, we'll be right back. This is Heartbeat.
Oh, boy.
Join us here at We Do Radio Network every Friday. Wake up 9 a.m. with Heartbeat. Our hosts, Bishop J.L. Godbolt, Senior Pastor Ron Godbolt, and Coach Tony Billingsley, where we have great conversations, phenomenal guests, radio talk show at its absolute best.
Citing recent killings in Charlotte, Raleigh, and Southport that police say were committed by police with histories of mental illness, Governor Josh Stein presented plans to strengthen the connection with behavioral health and the criminal justice system. Oman said today that it mediated indirect talks between Iran and the United States over Tehran's nuclear program. A winter weather advisory is in effect today and tomorrow morning for the mountains of North Carolina. Trump administration has launched Trump RX, a website it says will help patients buy prescription drugs directly at a discounted rate. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services reports flu cases are rising in the state. Flu deaths reached 236 this season. And the Winter Olympics begin today in northern Italy. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Calling all Cumberland County students. The Soil and Water Conservation District invites young artists and thinkers to participate in the We All Live in a Watershed contest. Students in grades 3 through 5 can submit artwork for the poster contest, while students in grades 6 through 12 can enter a slideshow, speech, or essay. Middle and high school students can also register for the North Carolina Enviathon, an interactive outdoor team competition. All entries and registrations are due by February 13th. For details, call 910-437-1922 or visit cumberlandcountync.gov.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The Cumberland County Sheriff's Office is proud to recognize and congratulate the graduates of Basic Law Enforcement Training Class 7. The individuals have demonstrated dedication, perseverance, and a strong commitment to serving and protecting their communities. Graduating from BLET represents over 900 hours of training, physical and mental challenges, and determination to uphold the highest standards of law enforcement. They commend each graduate for reaching that significant milestone and answering the call to public service. Cumberland County, in partnership with the City of Fayetteville government and community partners, will open white flag shelters and designated warming centers through February 8th in response to expected below freezing temps. You can find a list on the county's Facebook page. Cumberland County Schools says, do you want to help connect families and schools while making a positive impact on students' lives? Join the Family Ambassador Program. Receive training and support, build strong school-family partnerships, and represent your school community. From WIDU.
This is Carrie Sutton, past Cumberland County Board of Education member and chairman. I'm proud to endorse Charles Evans for Cumberland County Commissioner at Large. Charles understands the needs of Cumberland County. He has a heart for fairness and opportunities for everyone. He has shown real commitment to equitable reasoning, budgeting, strong public service, and honest leadership. Cumberland County, join me on Election Day to vote for Charles Evans, Commissioner at Large.
This is Charles Evans, and I approve this message. Paid for by Friends for Charles Evans.
Good Friday morning. We start your day with partly cloudy skies and temperatures cold in the mid-20s. Mostly sunny for the first part of the day. Then more cloud cover by the afternoon with highs reaching the upper 40s and low 50s. A chance for rain by this evening. Then it will be colder and windier overnight with mostly clear skies. Temperatures dropping to around 30 degrees. Still quite windy on Saturday with sunny skies. Highs reach the mid-30s to around 40. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the Weather Center.
Wake up, catch the vision, join the team. This is Pastor Reginald Johnston of My Father's House Christian Church right here in Fayetteville. We want you to wake up and join the team. Behold, how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It's good when we come together. We're one body, many parts. We desire that you wake up and join the team. It's good to be a part of Wake Up. Wake up, join the team. We will see you in Jesus' name. God bless you.
Did you know Medicare fraud is costing us $68 billion a year? The NC Department of Insurance Senior Medical Patrol Program's goal is to reduce Medicare fraud, waste, and abuse. If you suspect any billing or Medicare fraud issues, we're here to help. Contact SMP today at ncshiip.com or call toll-free at 855-408-1212.
Project supported by grants from the Administration for Community Living. Contents do not necessarily represent official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government.
This is Bishop Johnny Ray Jr. of the Churches of Worship Worldwide, Apostle J.A. McDonough, 2118 Owen Drive. And we are proud to be a part of the Wake Up. Come and join the team.
Any views or opinions presented on this program are solely those of the host and do not necessarily represent those of the owners, management, staff, advertisers, or sponsors of this radio station. It is not our intent to make any defamatory statements or infringe upon the rights of any human being. Any such communication is contrary to our core values and beliefs as hosts of Heartbeat. It's a fantastic Friday, not fantastic, fantastic Friday here at WIDU, having a great conversation off the air, and glad to have you back with us on board. I'm John Godbolt.
I'm Ron Godbolt.
And I'm Tony Billingsley.
And this is Heartbeat Flight 2026, where we still believe the truth is the truth if no one believes it, and a lie is still a lie even if everyone believes it. And some of the things we want to make sure of, as we were saying off the air, we want you to know the truth, and that your eyes are open to it so that you can make good decisions, especially when you get into debt, buying cars, buying homes, and anything that you need to do to prepare for the future, even choosing the right college, the right sources, subject matter, getting a degree in the right area. There's so much that's attached to it. So get the information, talk to the right people. It's good to have folk around you, but to make sure that the folk around you know exactly what they're talking about. It's one of my good friends always say with me, we'll talk to each other, you don't know everything. So when you don't know everything, talk to someone who knows a little bit more about what you don't know. Hey, let's do a Did You Know, and then a health tip, and then we're going to talk about our heritage and passing the baton, sharing the information about our heritage. So did you know there's a thing called dopamine dressing?
What?
Dressing, okay. How the color of your clothes changes your brain.
Okay.
Okay. It's been proven scientifically that you can, when you wear clothes, they did a study and photographed people wearing red or black T-shirts. Teams that were wearing loud, brighter colors tend to play better in louder color, bright color, I won't say loud, and they seem, not only do they look more attractive, but they tend to make people feel better and they act better based on the relationship of their clothing. The study has proven that people participating in it found that brighter clothes caused a dopamine in their brain to make them think, feel, and act better. Okay, so guys, I want you to start looking at what color you always wear. Okay.
Wow.
Wow, that's interesting.
So we need to wear bright suits, right?
No, I didn't say that. Wait a minute. Hold up. Maybe a sports jacket.
Yeah, maybe a jacket.
And a tie, shirt or tie. But let's
not come out with a yellow suit and
we don't want to look like you
pink and Panther suit.
Yeah, we don't want to look like you got batteries attached to that boy.
Yeah, colors are very, very important. You know, the Navy did a study many years ago on submariners, people who have duty on submarines, and they found that they had to paint the inside of the sub in certain areas certain colors to relax the sailors and to give them better moods when they are operating, because they were under the water for months at a time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. I worked in exceptional children for years, and they told us about the color of rooms, and they talked with parents about the color of you should paint or should not paint your child's room. And some of the colors were subduing them for a while, but after a while they became more irritated by colors.
Yeah.
So that's a part of. I was just looking at. We're not going to be talking about this, but there was an English football team. This is soccer, of course, in England. That when they played their home games, they wore light colors, and when they played in those colors, they were more successful in home games, wearing the light and bright colors than they were the drab and darker ones.
I laugh because you made me think of something. I had a little student, and it was known for a fact when little Johnny wore a certain shirt to school, it was going to be trouble that day.
Well, we're talking about let's go. I'm going to talk about some more too. Back on the school days. Go ahead, Doc. What you got?
Did you know the unicorn is the national animal of Scotland? Now, even though it's a mythical animal, they like the dominance and chivalry of the purity and the innocence of this animal. That's why Scotland has named it as their national animal.
Unicorn.
That
does not, as far as we know, does not exist.
Not exist.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay. So let's do a health tip, gents. What you got?
I don't think that Tony did one.
Yeah, did you know?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I
Did
jumped
you
all
know?
over you. You talked about mine so much. I thought
Yeah, it was so interesting. Did you know that the 100 folds in a chef's hat represent 100 ways to cook an egg?
Yeah.
And it's technically called a tokay, the 100 folds. There are 100 ways to cook an egg?
Oh, man.
And I can't believe there's
I can't
100
believe it.
folds in that hat.
Yes.
I mean, I've never been up one close, but I tell you, that's a lot of.
Is.
That's a lot of folds.
It is. And I was just thinking how many ways I could cook or prepare. And maybe we're just prepare an egg. But they said 100. But yeah, I'd be interested. No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It must be something like soft boil, hard boil, medium boil.
Poach.
Yeah.
Poached.
Scrambled.
Scrambled,
hard
fried.
fried.
Scrambled, light scrambled.
Souffle.
Souffle.
Yeah.
I don't know. We run out and we haven't got the 10.
we about to run out
We're about to run
already.
out.
Okay. Well, what you got for a health tip, Coach?
When you eat. Don't do other activities.
Okay.
Enjoy your food. It's much better for your digestion, and it'll taste better if you don't do any activities like watching TV or reading or something like that. Just eat and enjoy your food.
That's why when I notice that when I sit at the table, open up my blinds and look out the window at what I'm eating, I slow down and enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. I'm instead of sitting at that TV tray and trying to catch up on the sports.
You're trying to watch the game.
Yeah, watch a game and eating. Okay.
Yeah.
What you got, Doc?
This is a tough one. Say, take your phone calls standing or walking.
Take them standing or walking. Okay.
They're called mobile phones for a reason. Each time it rings, stand up or go for a walk.
Okay.
It's an easy way to decrease the amount of time that you're sitting.
That makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And I've seen a lot of business people stand up, go start talking and walking.
Yeah.
Just don't do it driving.
Don't do it driving.
And this guy ran through a light, and I happened to stop, and he's on the phone talking, and he went straight through a red light. Had I pulled out on time, he would have T-boned me. But my health tip has more to do with this power outage. How to stay warm if the power goes out. Okay, if the power goes out in your house, seal off one small room and create a warm zone. So, layer of clothing and hats and gloves, everything, and then heavy blankets and sleeping bags around you. If there's any draft under the door, around windows, put towels around that area. Anything that you're drinking, make sure it's warm. And then, of course, never, ever use a gas oven or generator or coal charcoal grill indoors. Okay, that may sound like a way to keep you warm, but that smell will put you to sleep, and you may not ever wake up. Never use gas ovens, generators, or charcoal grills indoors. Okay.
Yeah, I heard a fireman say that the other day, that any combustible device that it has an open flame can produce carbon monoxide. So you may think you're safe using these little propane gas heaters or kerosene heaters, but if it produces an open flame, it will produce carbon monoxide.
I did something the other day, and I didn't pay much attention to get my wife in the garage while the weather was bad. I backed my car in rather than driving it in. And this morning when I cranked it up, I went back into the house, and I could smell the fumes coming inside the house because I had backed the car in rather than driving it in. And it just brought to my mind how easy that smell can start moving into our house or into your home. Or if you're in the garage with it closed and you've got the car running, please don't do that. Okay, crack that garage, get that car out. I pulled it right on out immediately because that smell was pretty strong. Doesn't take long for a person to get sleepy under that. Okay, now if you're going to purchase that home, remember what we told you. Consider all those factors. Okay, let's get to the last 15 minutes we have here. And of course, we look forward to seeing our friends MP1, 2, and 3 coming in a few minutes. But we want to talk about how important it is to take advantage of this month. I know a lot of people say, well, we shouldn't do it just 1 month. You're right. But let's take full advantage of the opportunity. I was watching some of the basketball teams. They're coming out with uniforms on, if you will, to display Black history. They are talking about it. Let's use this moment to talk about our history. So we want to spend a few minutes about ways to share your heritage with the younger generation. And if you have some ideas or thoughts you want to share with us, we'd love to hear from you in this space and time that we have to do it. Okay? What you got, gents?
Well, first of all, I'm always surprised at my age to hear these Black inventors and authors and all that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And I went to HBUC college, and I was a history major, and I'm just saying, how do they keep this hid from us? That nobody knew these kind of things. That even the other day we found out that the lady that the GPS was invented by a Black lady.
Black lady, yeah.
You know, it's shocking.
Yeah, we've gotten away from the idea that our history or Black history, African American history is American history.
It is.
Yeah. You can't talk about the history of the United States without interweaving the contributions of African Americans and how the slaves that were brought over here affected the culture, climate, and the social aspects of America and the economics.
I'll do you one better, Coach, and that would be, if it had not been for the indigenous people, those pilgrims would not have survived the first winter. So we need to consider all of those facts, how everybody's history is attached to in the very beginning.
Absolutely.
And then show appreciation for that, because it seems like you talk about forgotten. The indigenous people have been totally practically forgotten. And we did this show once before on some of the terminologies that in the old movies that we saw, and we thought there was the names that they gave Native Americans was something that they invented, but it was not. Some of the terms, some of the activity, actions, even through the wars. So maybe we can one day get back to that. But our point today is, how do we actually get that information to our young folk? Now, I'll tell you one of those. I was watching this little short version of the NBA players who were naming some of their older people that they admired as African Americans. And one of them, and I saw his face come back to me, said, my grandfather. And his dad, he and his dad both were professional players, but his grandfather wasn't. It was just the way that he could talk with them, share with them, be able to, the way he carried himself in public and in the community. He said, that set a standard in my mind. So sometimes the history that we need to talk about is not just people that people know in a distance. They need to be able to connect in their own families, the histories that you have in your family.
You're preaching real good, sir. You're preaching real good. That is so important. We forget that our first influencers are our family members.
Yeah.
I can sit and recall listening to my grandmother directing me not to do a certain thing. If you go this place, do this. If you or don't do that. And so those lessons were very important to me as an individual in coming up. And then for them to tell you about their parents and their grandparents, it gave you a sense of belonging, and a sense that, oh, wow, if they did that and do it that, I can certainly do this.
Yeah. You know, and I think the more we get these little snippets here and there is going to help our children to know more about Black history. Of course, at our church in February, we highlight someone and then close out the month with a good program with different people. So I think the more we get it, of course, like you say, once a month, 1 month out of 12 months is not a whole lot, but you're finding more and more that more and more people are putting it in all year long.
Yeah.
And and Facebook, those kind of things do highlight some good information that you didn't know about Black authors and inventors.
Yeah, you said two key things. It's up to us as a people to highlight our own history.
Yeah.
And as you were talking, when you said, how did we, being educated in some of the best schools in our community, how did all these things escape us? They didn't tell us about it. And as I was researching this, I can see it was contrived. Insufficient and limited focus on teaching Black history. Political and legislative restrictions. Now we have.
Oh yes.
You can't say certain things. You can't do certain things as far as teaching the history of our nation, and then we don't have a cadre of people anymore who are prepared to teach it.
We always said, I'll put it this way, most of our lives, if you let someone else write your history, your real history becomes a mystery. My story and his story. History, I'm breaking up in two syllables. His story is not my story, and my story written by him becomes a mystery. And we have to make sure that we are in control of our history. If you notice in the Bible, how they were able to pass history down, even with a staff, they could put their history and on a staff and pass that staff from one family member generation into the next. And the children would take it and read their history from that staff. So they're holding something that is connected to hundreds of years prior to their even being here. So we need to create family trees. So we can start looking at what does that look like. I mean, I got some intelligent grandkids and nephews and nieces. But if we ask them, I'll never forget the day we were sitting there talking about our first cousin, who was actually raised with us, and we call her little sis. And they said, now how is she? Now they've known her all of her life. How is she some kin to you? They couldn't figure it out. So we had to sit there and we're looking at, you're almost a grown man. Now you didn't even know that this is your aunt based on the fact that, so talking with them, because again, they get so caught up into their lives that they miss the real history of who am I connected to?
Man, you're saying something so profound about that staff. I was picturing that in my mind. You've now connected your history to an object. And the oral tradition of somebody telling you about it. That's so profound. When you sit at someone's feet and you actually listen to what they're saying when they're telling you these things, that's how you gain knowledge and understanding of yourself as a person.
If I'm thinking about that. I'm looking at that staff. I'm going to put it, say Abraham. Abraham, it happened before him, but I'm going to start with Abraham. He is putting on there who his father was. And he's engraving on that. Well, when he gives it to Isaac then engraves what's happening with him. He's talking to his sons, and then Jacob gets it, and you keep seeing them. By the time it gets down to David or somebody, they have seen the handwriting of generations. And you're holding the same staff that generations held before you. There has to be something that when we create family trees or some way that we can say, this is who your grandfather was and grandmother on this side and how this came together. They can see it, and we can get people to sign it or say something to bring them to that point. Plus, I think it's important to do some family history tours. Where did we come from? Let's ride down to, let's go to Arkansas. Let's go to South Carolina. Let's trace it so we can see where we came from. And tie together. Now, when Dr. King was marching And in 1963, for that, here's what your grandfather was doing over here in this area, why he had to march. And then we start tying the picture together instead of having something that seems aloof. I know he was real, but he's almost like a fictitious unicorn, you know, Martin Luther King or someone, because I don't know him. But when you start tying that history together with it, then we see, oh, now I get it.
Yeah.
And I know sometimes people you got family members you don't like to be around. But,
really?
But you need a family reunion. You need the history of your family put in front of your children so they'll know who the parents are, who the grandparents, where they come from. That's a part of the history of Black American.
And when you do have these gatherings, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, you know, Resurrection Day or whatever, your family's together for some occasion, maybe a birthday. Put the phones down and talk to each other.
That's right.
Talk about some of these things. You know, I knew that my dad had served in World War II. He was drafted into the military. Eventually went overseas, and I was sitting talking to him about it one day. He didn't want to talk much about some of his experience, but I found out that he was actually a member of the Red Ball Express, which was part of Patton's army that transported ammunition and equipment all over Italy, Africa, and Europe.
Wow. That's why when we start talking about history, it frightens other people. That's why if we can, and I'm always saying, God, make me a billionaire because I'm going to create this incredible history place with AI and all this technology. I know what to do. He hasn't done it yet, but it's when we get our history written by us and how it's attached to the indigenous people and and how we are brought to where we are, then we become we start to become independent, and we start to make some real good choices about how we move forward.
And then we get to see how we're all actually entwined. African Americans could not have made the progress in this nation without the support of white citizens.
That's right. And anybody who assumed that all whites are against you and all blacks are for you, you have missed the boat. Please understand that's not the case. Reach out and meet some new people. I was enjoying this. And guys, thank you so much for doing this study on these areas, because that's what makes us help our neighborhood and our friends. So if you have questions or something you'd like for us to look at, share with you, we look forward to doing it next week. We'll be here by the grace of God right before your Valentine's Day date and that sort of thing. So we'll be doing that as well, okay? And remember, the only thing the evil needs to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Bye-bye.